What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Rage Traders NRL Supercoach podcast. Wolfie here, and today we've got another pod video for you going through who I think some of the best pods are at the moment that you can get ready to target or target immediately. Before we get into that, just a few little things. Of course, if you do enjoy the video, like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. It helps with the algorithm massively. And on Apple or Spotify podcasts, if you could leave a 5-star review, that would be greatly appreciated because I'm a brand new podcaster and things are going well, but it can go better if you do support it. So thank you very much for that. If you haven't joined the Rage Traders 1K Supercoach League, where $1,000 is up for grabs, all you have to do is be a subscriber to my YouTube channel on the Rage Traders. The code is 739499. That's 739499. Last but not least, very simple. If you do have Discord or you are a Discord user, I've opened up the Rage Traders Discord server. You are more than welcome to join. It will be in the YouTube description below. Just click on that invite link, verify yourself in the channel, and then chat away with the others in there and myself about NRL Supercoach. All right, before we get into the pods, just for the listeners and obviously for everyone else, I'm going to go over my trades for the week and also my captaincy. Very, very quick here. They're going to be very simple trades, and I'm definitely not moving off my captaincy this week. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to have this. So I got a 1, 2, 6, 7 last week, but still go up 4,187 spots. So I went from about 22,000 to 17,295. So I slowly keep getting better ranks, which is good. That's the direction we want to go. We only want to see green arrows from here. This week, my trades are very simple, and I've decided to go a bit early, but I think the time is right now. I was having a think about it. So I've gone Keanu Kinney to Reece Walsh, who will be my captain for the week. And that was literally just a straight trade because I had salary left in my account or in the bank. And then I've gone Isaiah Yeo to Alex Twal. Now, the reason I've done this could be a bit of a sideways trade for now, but in the future, it's just putting me one step ahead because one, I really believe in Alex Twal. I love the minutes. Benji came out and spoke about, he's looking to get more minutes into him and the rotation he kind of stuffed up in the previous game. So that's really good news for Alex Twal owners and Alex Twal himself. And also just as an eye test, which I think is a massive part to Supercoach, it just looked like he was a mini Payne Haas out there, and I was really sold on that. Now, a lot of you might say you'd prefer to go Finifuyaki, which could be a correct statement. But for me, I prefer Alex Twal because Dolphins have the draw next week. If Finifuyaki pops off, he pops off. I mean, it is what it is, but I see Alex Twal as a season keeper. Now, that could be an incorrect statement for sure, but if it's the end of the season and he is still in my team, I would have obviously not been surprised by that, and that's the way I'm going with it. So they're my two trades for the week, which leave me with $172,000 in salary left. And basically my whole plan is, and why I'm going on Yo early, obviously we know about the minutes and him just being sort of taken off the games that they're dominating in, and also just being that 60 guy who's not going to make me much more cash than this, even though his break even's about 40 something. I just think it's time to move him on. And then it leaves me to focus on people like Jesse Colquhoun, which I think after this week, he will be a trade out, especially with McGuinness looming. And then on top of that, I have Carrigan and Kolomatangi, who either of these guys could be trade outs, especially with Payne Haas now back in the lineup. I just want to give them one more week each, reassess. I think I'm pretty much sold on holding Couchman now because I'm holding him for this week. So I'm just going to play that out. And the reason why I didn't go out Moses Leo, which was kind of a blessing in disguise because he isn't playing this week, lets me go to a cheapie next week off him and not lose any money. So completely happy with that. My vice captain will be Herbie Farnworth. I'm hoping for an absolutely nice 90 to 105 from him this week, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see what type of Manly Seagulls team turns up. And then I have just Robson and Smith being the tough thing here. So I'm really hoping my vice captaincy loop does go into effect because Robson on the bye, Brandon Smith didn't get named. I knew this could have been a possibility last week. I had to get rid of Reed Marnie. I went to Robson. knowing that the bye was coming up. But the reason I did this was because I looked at the draw and I saw that Pezzett was versing the Tigers, so there should be some points in him for that. Canberra versus Newcastle, so hopefully Sanders gets a 40 plus. So even if my vice captaincy loop doesn't go to plan, I would think that the people I have on my bench, being Colquhoun, Arama Howe, Ethan Sanders, Pezzett, and that's it, really. The minimum is like a 35-40. So I'm pretty happy with that. But we'll have to see what happens from there. And that is basically where my team is sitting at the moment. Very, very happy with it. And we'll continue to make money, continue to make changes. Definitely not boosting this week. I just need to settle down, slow down. But I'm happy with Walsh and Twal coming in. All right, so I have... Actually, I forgot how many this was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pods for you. I had more. And the reason I deleted them was because I tried looking at the draw as well. And I tried being like very serious. Like Scott Water was one of the players I had as a pod, but I really disliked his upcoming draw after this week. And I was like, me personally, I wouldn't go there because of the draw. So when I give you these pods, I'm actually very, very serious about it. And they would be people that if they were in my team, I'd be completely fine with it. So let's start with number one. So we've started it from 10% and lower. We're going to start from the highest percentage down to the lowest percentage, have a quick chat about them, and basically go from there. So number one, Jerome Hughes, $715,200 with a break even of 25. His average is 86.5 points at the moment. I'll bring him up on the screen as well. But just being super, super consistent. Hasn't had a game under 60 points yet. It's gone for a 66, a 73, 102, and 105. Looks really healthy, looks really good in the team. The thing we have to remember in the first 4 games, they've versed Parramatta, St. George, and North Queensland. But he looks good, he looks healthy, and the team is still clicking and getting points. I really, really like him as a bit of a pod play, and just for something where when it comes into this origin period, you know he's someone who can excel and be in your team and you don't have to worry about. But again, he just looks really, really good. Now, the base is pretty low, but again, you expect this Melbourne team to score points. He is one of the halfbacks who I think is going under the radar because everything's been sort of taken over by Nicho Hynes, Cleary, and Adam Doueihi. And I think people that own Jerome Hughes are kind of just sitting silent and being like, they'll just plug away and just be completely happy with what he's doing. A 66, a 73, 102, 105. You will absolutely live with that. And him and Joe Chan are clicking. Will Warbrick is on that right side as well. So that's only good news for Jerome Hughes as well. So yeah, Jerome Hughes, his 8.5% ownership. I mean, that's still a nice amount, but still... I think a lot of people just sort of sitting with the Cleary and the Hynes. That's completely fine, but keep tabs on Hughes. He could be someone you go to, especially during that origin period as well, or just someone you wanted to take a gamble on because Cleary is coming into a tiny bit of tougher games here. But yeah, Jerome Hughes is your pod number one. Pod number two, Hamish Stewart. I spoke about him last week. He went for an absolutely massive 85. I was talking about it in the Discord. I had him in my trades. I took him out just because I needed to go elsewhere. Do I regret it? We'll soon find out. I think this week and next week will tell me whether I regret it or not. But goes for 54 points in 67 minutes, then a 51-pointer in 48 minutes, a 62-pointer in 58 minutes, and then an 85-pointer in 58 minutes. I just think with the injuries to the Couchmans, he's obviously one of the main guys there. One thing we have to flag is Toby Couchman is now back this week. Whether that impacts him a lot, I don't know. It might just make them a bit stronger as a team. So that's something I really want to evaluate. But a break even of 8 on an 8.1 ownership, that is absolutely juicy, and only $479,100. The Dragons need a win. They have a really, really nice draw opening up. They've got North Queensland at home, Manly at home into Souths away, and Sydney Roosters at home into a bye. I think that's a very nice draw. And someone like Hamish Stewart is a bit bulletproof as well. He just gets through his work, gets his points, and you're happy with that. Pod number 3, Adam Doueihi, King Doueihi, 4.1% ownership, $645,200 with a 33 break even, and has had an absolutely massive start to the year. Now, I said this in my team videos when I was first starting for this season. I said if West Tigers didn't have a bye in round one, Dewey would 100% be 100% in my team. Do I regret not having him? Of course. Was I scared of the bye? Yes. And now look what he's done to me. 115, 64, and 112. Now, the one thing about him is just injury. A 33 break even is really, really good though. I'm just sometimes a bit concerned with in a game, he could just literally break down like we saw towards the end of, I think it was the Souths game or at some point there, but he still played 78 minutes there. But geez, does he look good when he's on? Running game, elite. Kicking, really, really nice to see. Just don't be shocked if he's one of the injured guys that comes up soon. Hopefully that is not the case because he looks and is playing at an elite level. But I think this is someone where if you wanted to take a risk for halfbacks, this is your pick. This is your guy. And with the draw coming up, Parramatta, Newcastle. Parramatta away, Newcastle at home, into Broncos at home, into Canberra at home, into Sharks away. So after these next two games, that's when things get a bit tough. But again, he's just a really, really good player in a team that is improved, being the West Tigers. And I think he's a fine pick if you've already got him, and someone, if you want to take a gamble on, definitely go for it. All right, next pod number 4, Matty Burton. $586,700, break even of 18 at a 3.7% ownership. Now, the thing about Matty Burton is he is capable of some low scores, but from what I've seen in the last two games being against Canberra and Newcastle, there really is an increased running rate from him. He's really attacking the line a lot. And if it wasn't for this guy against Newcastle, Bulldogs may not have even scored more than 6 or 8 points. The way he sparked them back into the game was really, really positive, and that's what I like to see. 70 points against Canberra at Canberra's home, then 102 points at Newcastle's at home, for Bulldogs in that shocker upset that Newcastle beat them in, and 45 points to start off against St. George in Vegas. Take that as you will. But I still think he is very cheap, $586,700 as mentioned. And again, someone we don't really talk about too much. When it comes to these positions, I just think other names always get mentioned over him. And this could be a season where at the 5/8 position, where we're talking about Purdue, Braden Trindle, Cody Walker, maybe his name kind of sneaks through and just goes through the cracks and gets unseen. And there's owners out there that are just going to keep their mouths closed, let him do what he does and sort of be very happy with it. And I could see him doing some really big numbers. Again, they have Souths away this week for the Easter Smash. Then they have Penrith at home. So you could easily look at unloading on him in round 7 against Parramatta away, then into Broncos away, North Queensland, Dolphins, Sharks, Melbourne, West Tigers, Para. That's a pretty healthy draw there. But Matty Burton for me is someone who you can definitely look at focusing on, someone who I'm actually might go into a bit later, but a pod nonetheless, and I think he will stay at this kind of ownership until something massive happens from his side. Pod number 5. I've got Katoni Staggs here, someone who I've sort of spoken about before that to not touch, but with this Broncos draw, I'm just thinking he could have a game where he easily goes over 100. Last week against the Dolphins, he goes over 98 for 2 tries. He started off with a 34. That was against Penrith. And then it gets a 59 against Para, an 83 against Melbourne, into a 98 against the Dolphins. So there's only been increased scoring from him and only been increased efficiency. $647,800, so a bit pricey, but with a break even of 29 at 3.7% ownership and coming into the Gold Coast, North Queensland, West Tigers could be absolutely huge. Then they do have the Bulldogs, Sydney Roosters, Manly, New Zealand bye. Again, I think if you get him, it's now for these games, Gold Coast, North Queensland, West Tigers, and then reassess if you want, or wait till Origin and go from there. But I think I won't be surprised if he puts up a 100+ score coming into one of these 3 games. So that's Katoni Staggs, $647,800, break even of 29 at 3.7% ownership. All right, let's talk about our next pod. You know this guy's name, and he is a pod, but only because he's injured, but he still has been back playing okay, and that's Fletcher Sharp. Now, I think there's a point where if you take a risk on Fletcher Sharp earlier than others, it might pay off really, really good for you. But I had to include him in here, $730,700, 125 break even at 3.5% ownership. Now, of course, that 125 break even, we're not going to jump on him right now. They do have Canberra coming up, then the West Tigers into Sydney Roosters and Penrith. But I had to flag him just because he is back, he is playing. He didn't look like himself last week, but he still played the game and still played okay. But I think there's going to be a time very, very soon where you're like, okay, maybe I should jump on Fletcher Sharp now. Even coming into sort of like round 9 when they have South St. George Gold Coast, that could be really, really good. But just had to flag him. I'm not putting him as like a major pod, but I had to flag him because I think people will forget about him a bit with everything that's going on. And then he's going to sneak up on us. So just be prepared. Understand that you might need some cash ready for Fletcher Sharp, and that could be around round 9 if you wanted to target him there. Obviously, round 12, he has the bye as well. Next guy I have, I'm really, really big on. I think we all know him as like maybe like a mini Herbie in a way, and that's Civilio Tamale. Now, started off a bit iffy, but $594,500 with a 9 break even at 3.4% ownership. Came up against the Bulldogs for 100 points. Then comes up against the Sharks for 84. Now, one thing I will flag is the 2 games he played at the start, both away games, he got a 52 and a 40 against Manly and New Zealand. Is this because they didn't start as flash, or is this because they're away games? So the correlation or just little pattern I've seen here in the first 4 games is he's had two away games for minor-ish scores and then had 2 home games for big scores. Is this because he plays better at home? That's something I want to look and manage. But if you wanted to go him, now is the time. Newcastle, Souths, Melbourne, West Tigers, Gold Coast, Panthers. So they do have the Panthers and Melbourne, but Melbourne still leak points here and there. I think he could be a massive get now. And if you wanted to target a CTW, like I know everyone's going Simi Sasagi. Why wouldn't you go Simi Sasagi over this? But I mean, Tamale's getting tries. They're going left quite a bit. And I think he could be the pod difference in that team as well. He's a tackle buster, plays the full 80 minutes, of course. And he's just a really fit and tackle busting player. And again, I relate him to a mini Herbie sometimes, but just wanted to show you that there is a pod out there who I think is viable in the CT Dubs area. And for me, that is Civilio Tamale. All right. Next one. I think this is number 7. No, 8. Jaden Sewer, sorry. $696,200, 49 break even at 2.4%. Now, he's been the one of the only Dragons players to really, really show me that he's just consistent, and that's what I love about him. Now, again, we do have the likes of other 2RF players that are absolutely huge, like your Finafuiakis. Obviously, David Fafita has been talked about so much. I actually think there's a point where we might have to move off David Fafita because there's just other 2RFs out there that are doing massive numbers. But this guy put up a 74-pointer against the Bulldogs, then a 75-pointer against Melbourne, with a 48 base and a 63 base into a 57 base and a 60 base again. That was against Parramatta and Gold Coast. Now, he got 110 2 weeks ago into a 66 last week. There were a lot of errors in that game against Gold Coast. I think he's just so consistent, and I would just prefer him over an Isaiah Yeo because he's going to get the full 80 minutes. Now, they have North Queensland, Manly, Souths, Sydney Roosters into a bye into Newcastle, Penrith, New Zealand. Like, that's really, really nice. Again, if I think he is one of the guys that you want to pot up in the 2RF area, he is your guy. And I think he's really, really strong and just consistent. And that's what I love about him. He's kind of like the Yo we always wanted that just has a bit extra. And now Yo, with the decrease in minutes, he could be someone you put in. Maybe he's also like an Alex Twal that you can sort of rely on. So this could be your like pod play against the Twal, against the Finifuiaki. Not saying that's what you 100% do, but I think there is good value on him. And Dragons can only get better from here. I mean, you can't get much worse. You're zero wins, 4 losses. You got a lot of errors on the field. You got a lot of injuries. I think it only looks up for Sua, even though he's had a 110 game already. I just really like the pick and I'm really big on him. But let's get back into my favorite pick of them all. Now, this percentage could change a lot. I'm doing this on Wednesday at midnight. So 12 a.m. Wednesday. But as of now, Alex Twal, for some reason, is still at 1.9% ownership. $548,600 with a 12 break even. Goes for a 67, a 69, and 97 in 70 minutes. Base of 57, 63, and 71. Whoa. So an average base of 64. That is incredible. I've got him in. I've brought him in this week for Isaiah Yo, as I mentioned. I'm really, really big on him. They have Parramatta, Newcastle, Broncos, Canberra, Sharks. And again, I think in the games where it is a bit grindier, it is a bit tough, he's still going to be kind of bulletproof and get you that 60, 65. He's offloading a lot more. He looks deadly. He had the most insane offload flick pass that led to a line break. That was really good. I can't remember if it led to a try, but I think it did. But yeah, he just looks really, really nice. If he can get 65 to 70 minutes, lock and load. Again, a lot of people will have Finifuiaki and most really want him over Alex Twal due to the bigger attacking threat, especially on that right edge with Isaiah Katoa. But I mean, I like that he's got a lesser price tag, that he can get close to that. And I think he's going to be a possible season keeper. So that's why he's in my team. Last but not least, I have another Tigers player, Kai Pearce-Paul, $647,300, 29 break even at 1.6% ownership. Boy, what a start to his season. A 98, a 61, and a 90. Now, we do have to just take into consideration that he does have some tries in these games, but still very, very good. Looks way better in the Tigers outfit and just in his attacking style. And coming up against Parramatta, Newcastle, Broncos, Canberra, Sharks, the only thing I would put a flag on is I kind of feel like now his base average 53, great. But when he doesn't score a try, that's when he can be that 60-ish player, just like he kind of was at Newcastle Knights. However, I think he's going to have a lot more attacking opportunities and just try opportunities, which I really like. Again, I would say out of all 2RFs, this would be the one I wouldn't go to the most, just because I think there's value and just more ceiling towards the other ones. But if you really wanted to pot up on someone, this is your guy. They've obviously gone through the buy in the first round, so lock and load on Kai Pearce-Paul. If you started with him, congratulations, because he's doing really, really well. Again, sometimes I don't feel like he's a massive line breaker. Like he just plugs away and gets his points, scores off a grubber or something like that. But I still had to mention him because I think at that ownership, you've got to mention someone that's gone 90 plus twice in 2 games out of 3. And that's it. That's my pods. That's my pods, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I wanted to give you some pods now because there's so many trades and thoughts happening and people are prepping up to do bigger trades and just trying to catch up in points because people are firing and players are scoring huge numbers. So I wanted to give you this pods video. We hadn't done one in a while. Really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Wolfie from the Rage Traders. See you soon. Peace.